A man who cannot master his sexual energy is a slave to it. There's this movement sweeping across podcasts. It's a seductive idea that can sound enlightened, radical, even divine. You've probably heard of it. Polyamory, multiple lovers, open hearts, open legs. Apparently, the more the merrier. And of course, leading the charge, we have our boy Aubrey Marcus. Recently, he proclaimed polyamory as some kind of sacred evolution, more divine, more expansive, and apparently more loving. But let's be honest here, Aubrey. More people in your bed doesn't automatically mean more God in your life. And look, I can appreciate the audacity, but let's not pretend polyamory inherently leads us closer to divinity. More often than not, it's simply an elaborate way to spiritualize the inability to commit deeply and fully to one partner. It's escapism, just dressed up in expensive mala beads and scented with Palo Santo. Now, I'm sure Aubrey would disagree with my take, and that's fair. I'm not here to cancel the guy. In fact, I respect a lot of the work he's put out. He's contributed deeply to the spiritual community, and I'm not pretending that this channel even holds a candle to the size of his. But size doesn't equal depth, and I'm not going to muzzle my own integrity because someone else holds a bigger following, spiritualizing their kink. Don't get me wrong, if you genuinely find awakening by juggling 3 calendars, 10 partners, and scheduling intimacy like a Zoom call, then namaste. Live your truth. But let's be real, most men aren't ready even for one relationship, let alone 2 or 3. And when they pretend they are, they end up scattered, confused, and wondering why nothing feels satisfying anymore. So let's call this what it usually is. It's a leaky, undisciplined, and ultimately confused approach to sexual energy. See, when men chase more and more, it's often because they're terrified of holding deeper intimacy. Because it's scary, it's intense, it requires mastery of your impulses. So instead of cultivating depth with one queen, they scatter their energy in 1,000 shallow pools. And here's the harsh truth that most men aren't ready for. And it's that mastering your sexual instinct means learning how to deepen intimacy, not dilute it. See, sexual energy is your life force. It's your prana, your kundalini, your shakti. And if you're spraying it around town indiscriminately or inviting extra bodies into the bed because our boy Aubrey called it radical, well, you're not awakening. You're draining your power and calling it spirituality. There's a reason ancient traditions speak of sexual mastery as a sacred discipline. It's because sexual energy can either destroy or create. It can either scatter your life force or channel it into powerful creativity, deep intimacy, and purposeful living. And contrary to the myth that we're fed, more sex with more partners isn't necessarily better sex or more divine sex. It's often just spiritual bypassing, external seeking, or a form of sex addiction at its worst. So let's stop pretending it's sacred simply because it sounds revolutionary on Instagram. If adding more people to your bedroom automatically made you enlightened, every frat house would be a monastery. Real sacred sexuality is radically different. It's intense, it's confronting, and yes, it demands discipline. Real sacred sexuality, real sacred union, isn't found by hopping from bed to bed. It's about cultivating a container so safe, so deep, and so profoundly committed that it transforms both partners. It's not easy, but nothing truly worth anything ever is. So let's talk about what's actually sacred. Sacred union isn't about how many bodies you can share a bed with. It's about how deeply you can merge with one soul and how fiercely you can hold the container that allows her to surrender fully into it. Most men have no idea how to do this because it's not just about being a spiritual guy with lots of followers. It's about being a forged man, a man who has faced his own shadows, mastered his own impulses, and can be trusted with the storm of a woman's heart and body. Sacred union is rare because it requires total honesty. radical devotion, energetic congruence, emotional depth, and sexual discipline. It's not polyamory with better branding. It's not some kumbaya commune of shared genitals. It's not about open relationships under the illusion of it somehow being more evolved. No, sacred union is monogamy intensified, not by rules, but by reverence. And no, not that euphemistic rebrand that they're calling radical monogamy, which just slaps a label on a menage a trois and calls it enlightenment. It's the recognition that when two people choose each other fully, with presence, with integrity, with the intention of becoming more conscious together, their union becomes a furnace. It's a forge, a temple. And inside that temple, sex becomes something else entirely. It's not just friction and moaning. It's spiritual combustion. It's emotional healing. It's divine communion. But here's the punchline. This kind of union is only possible when a man stops chasing novelty and starts holding depth. When he stops seeking women and starts mastering himself. It's when he stops leaking energy toward temptation and instead becomes a container that every woman would want to surrender to. Not because he demands it, but because he embodies true masculinity, true polarity. This isn't about repression, it's about refinement. Sexual energy isn't an enemy, it's our creative engine. But you don't hand the keys to that engine over to your lust. You must give it to your mission, your integrity, your queen. You contain your fire and you use it to warm your home, your wife, and your children. Because the truth is, you were made for one woman. One woman you can ravish again and again. Not because she's all you can have, but because she's the only one worthy of all of you. And when that container is strong enough, when the love is rooted deeply enough, something interesting can indeed happen. She might expand it, but that's not your job to suggest. It's not yours to chase, it's hers. And that's where we're going next. So now let's talk about the forbidden fruit. Yes, the threesome. Let's get one thing straight right now. If you're the one bringing it up, it's already dead. The moment a man starts scheming, hinting, or fantasizing about inviting another woman into the bedroom, he's no longer a master of his energy. He's a beggar dressed as a king. And trust me, the queen can smell that desperation. Here's the hard truth. When a man initiates a threesome, it's rarely coming from wholeness. It's usually coming from hunger, from lack, from that unspoken belief that this woman isn't enough, or worse, I'm not enough, so I need more to feel powerful. And that's not sacred. That's sad. But, and this is a big but, there is a path. And this one's very rare. It's a very specific way that a threesome can be integrated without shattering the sacredness of your union. And that's when it's initiated not by you, but by her. And not as a performance, not as people-pleasing, not as some broken attempt to keep your attention and keep you satisfied, but from her own sovereign, sexually empowered desire. Because she feels so safe, so cherished, so fully met by you that she wants to expand her pleasure, to bring another woman into her world, not out of lack, but out of abundance. This is the only way the container holds. And even then, your devotion must remain unshakably anchored to your queen. You can't leak it to the other woman. You don't chase her energy. You channel everything, every thrust, every breath, every pulse of desire back into the woman who trusted you enough to open that door. Because if you fail to do that, she won't say it in the moment. She might even moan and smile through it. But deep down, she'll feel it. That you couldn't hold your center, that the encounter was never about her or them or God. It was about you getting more. And that will poison the union. But when it's done right, when the queen leads and the king holds it, it can be a deeper ritual of trust, eroticism, and divine union. But make no mistake, this is rare, not because it's impossible, but because it requires an extraordinary man. One who's already mastered himself, one who has nothing to prove, nothing to chase, and nothing to hide. Are you that man? Are you not ruled by lust, or do you wield it? Because if you are that man, you are legend. So if this stirred something in you, good. I just want to hear about it. So drop a comment below and share your experiences. Please subscribe. What has your journey been like with sacred sexuality? And have you ever explored sexual transmutation, semen retention, conscious celibacy, or maybe you've had experiences, good or bad, with polyamory or open relating? Let's have a real conversation. And if you're ready to go deeper, come join our community where we meet once a week and we explore all of our instincts, not just lust, but fear, rage, care, play, seeking, and despair. We don't do surface level, we go all the way in, because healing isn't just physical or mental, it's emotional. And all of the above. It's all of it. And your sexual energy, it's not just about sex, it's about power. Master it and you become unstoppable. This is the real work. So let's rise together.